Hi there. If you are thinking about starting a podcast, I want to congratulate you. If you enjoy talking, you're going to enjoy podcasting, I'm pretty sure. This episode is for those who are thinking about starting a podcast, okay? And so I want to share some advice for new podcasters from some of the things that I have learned and I have experienced in my podcasting journey so far. I have been podcasting since 2020. I started when everything shut down during COVID outbreak and people were mostly at home. There were places of work that were shut down. The world really changed very rapidly. And so that's when I decided, hey, I would like to still be able to communicate with the world in a way that's not just limited to one-on-one phone calls or conference calls or just connecting with friends on social media, exchanging emails. I thought, well, I want to share my thoughts and opinions and views on a wide range of issues, and I want to get my thoughts out to the world for people to listen. And I said, if I record podcast episodes and I publish those on the internet, then anyone who wants to listen to what I have to say can simply, at their convenience, whenever they have time, they can click play and listen to what I have to say. They can hit pause, come back and revisit if they don't have time to listen to the whole episode in one sitting, and people can download. And if they like my podcast, if they like one episode, I'm pretty sure they'll come back and listen to more episodes. So that was my thought process, and that's how I started podcasting. Now, in my case, I do have to give a little bit of background. I have always been a public speaker. When I was a young boy in school, I joined a debating club and I participated in debate competitions. I also participated in public speaking competitions. And when I was at the university, throughout the course of my academic journey, I had various opportunities to do presentations and speak in front of different audience. And so overall, life has provided me with many opportunities to not only do presentations, a PowerPoint presentation where I'm presenting information on slides, but also do speeches in front of people, whether those are just quick 5-minute remarks or longer speeches in front of audiences ranging from maybe 10 to 20 people all the way to more than 100 people, few hundred people. So I am used to speaking in front of different audience on different issues, small brief remarks to more longer speaking engagements. And so I'm a speaker and I like talking, and so podcasting is definitely something that I have thoroughly enjoyed. Now, for people who are interested in starting a podcast, if you are listening to this episode, let me share some advice with you. You can look at podcasting in two different ways. Number one, it is a very complex process. Number two, it is a very simple process. So let's talk about the complex process first. If you want to start a podcast, you have to figure out how many people will be participating in each episode. Are you going to be the only one talking into the microphone? Or will you have other guests or other podcasters join you? That will help you decide what kind of a podcast setup you need. Do you need just one microphone? Do you need more than one microphone? And then you have to also decide what kind of podcast platform you are going to use, what kind of podcast audio recording software you are going to use. What will be the length of your episode? Is it going to be 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Is it going to be 1 hour long? And then once you have published your podcast, you have to think about marketing and promoting your work. So you could have merchandise for your podcast. You could have other promotional items or just social media marketing. Really, there are many things that go into creating a successful podcast. And even as you are preparing for each episode, you could either have a prepared script, or you could just have some quick bullet points that you look at and talk about those. Or you can just, maybe you just know what topic you're going to talk about and then hit record on your computer, and then just without any prior planning, you just say whatever comes to your mind. There are so many things that you have to consider, and that's why I say that podcast can be a very complex process. And if you are somebody who is planning to start podcasting, it's not unusual that you'll go on the internet and do research on what kind of equipment you should use, what kind of software would be good for you, what are some great marketing practices for promoting your work. And as you are going through all that information that's available on the internet, different people will give you different advice. It can be really overwhelming. There's so much information out there, I can't decide what to do. I say that take a deep breath, keep things simple. Simplicity is the key word. If you are new to podcasting, I would say just get a laptop or a desktop computer. If you don't know what microphone would be best for you, get something very simple, maybe under $100. Okay, get something simple, maybe a microphone with a USB connection that you can just very easily connect with your computer and start recording. In terms of recording software, there are many options out there. Start with something that's maybe free, that you can get for free, that you don't have to invest any money towards. And the focus should be on the actual content. What is it that you want to talk about? What's your expertise and what's your specialty? What is it that you like to share with your listeners? Like I talk a lot about social political issues. There are others who talk about movies. There are others who talk about science and technology subjects. There are others who talk about anything to do with the world of healthcare or literature or arts. There are others who will share their traveling experiences with their audience. Really, just pick what your podcast is going to be about, what you're going to discuss in each episode, and just go ahead and create the content. What's really important if you are a new podcaster, that people will have to like what you are presenting to them. If they listen to your episode number 1, if they like it, they will listen to episode number 2. So the quality of the content is the most important thing. Now, sound quality does matter a lot. As a new podcaster, you don't necessarily have to produce audio that is really super high quality like radio or television, but it has to be decent quality. Make sure that you don't have a lot of background noise. Make sure that you have a relatively quiet recording environment so that you can get crisp, clean sound without a lot of background noise. So focus on the content. The way I look at podcasting is that forget that you are recording into, through a microphone into a software. Think about that you are speaking to a live audience. That may actually make you feel more comfortable. I'm not sure if it's going to work for everyone, but let me explain my reasoning behind it. When you are up on a stage and you're addressing a live audience, you don't have the opportunity to pause and rewind and listen to what you just said in the last 2 or 3 minutes and, edit it or erase it and re-record. You don't have those options when you're addressing a live audience. Whatever you say, when you're up on a stage, people are listening to that in real time. So there's no way you can stop and erase and record again. There's no second take. Whatever you're saying in real time, that is what people will listen to. And so if you can get into that kind of a mindset that, hey, it's going to be just one take, I'll hit record, and whatever I'm going to say, that's going to be it. It may make you feel more comfortable. Then you will be your natural self. It's like you're having a conversation, or it's like you're talking to somebody, and whatever you say will be out there and your listener will listen, and there's no way that you can turn back and re-record. Is it going to work for everybody? Perhaps not. There may be people who want to record and they want to listen to what they just recorded and adjust their voice and their tone and, redo it. Maybe. For me, I always think I'm talking to a live audience, and whatever I say, that'll be it. That's going to be recorded, and that's what I'll publish. It really helps me feel comfortable. Right now, I am not looking at a script. Whatever is coming to my mind, I am saying. And so it's helping me be my natural self. And that's what I recommend that you do to be more comfortable as you're moving forward in your podcasting journey. So just to recap, keep things very simple. Get a free recording software. Get a laptop or a desktop computer. Get a decent mic. Doesn't have to be too fancy or too expensive. Focus on the content. Try to be your natural self and try to imagine that you're addressing a live audience, even though you're not. Those are my basic tips. Obviously, as you grow, as your podcast grows, as you're getting more feedback from people, whether it's compliments, whether it's constructive criticism, you're going to try to improve. Just see what works for you. And if your podcast is gaining popularity, if you're getting more downloads and people are appreciating your work, that's when you can think about upgrading. That's when you can think about getting a better microphone, getting maybe some other equipment, maybe turning your audio podcast into a video podcast, maybe get a camera so you can not only record your voice, but you can also record, the image of you speaking, and then that will help you get your product out to more people, because you're not just publishing the audio version, you're also publishing the video version. And so the overall goal then would be to eventually grow your podcast, grow the number of listeners, get more downloads, just be more successful. But start simple, start small, and then grow as you're moving forward. So that's my advice. You may agree with me, you may not. But if you are thinking about starting a podcast, congratulations on your decision. I hope you enjoy podcasting as much as I do. It's a hobby of mine. I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far, and I continue to produce more episodes. So with that, I will end here. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you all for listening. My podcast is called Explore and Engage with Anam. Please do check it out. Let me know if you like it. And if you have any advice for me, I would be happy to listen. So thank you, and I'll be back again.